now, now. Hey, it's Renee. Hey, 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 it's Renee. Hi, everybody. How you guys doing? So on today's topic, let's start over. Hi, how you guys doing? So today's topic, I'm going to be talking about how to obtain the maximum income as an LPN nurse. So I think the biggest thing that you guys want to remember, especially as nurses, be happy. If you aren't happy, do not keep yourself in a predicament in which you're not happy. It's other ways and other means to make income as a nurse than being in an environment and not being happy. So tip numero uno is going to be get you a per diem job. So what I mean by when you get a per diem job, right? When you get a per diem job, they typically pay you more. So they're going to pay you, I want to say, almost for $10 more an hour than the average person that works there full time. So you'll be able to make more money. So, and then being that it is a shortage of nurses, they're going to always want you to call you in. They're going to always want you to be, they're going to always need you, regardless of the fact. So you can obtain more money that way. That's the first way you can obtain more money. The second tip, numero dos, you should have a part-time job. So if you, and this is if you don't have a full-time job. So if you have a part-time job, you'll be able to collect benefits. So you get you a part-time job so you can collect those benefits, and then you always know that you have those hours situated in your daily schedule. So typically, depending on where you work, you could possibly work 2 days, right? You can work 2 days, 10 hours, and you can collect 20 hours a week from that job. Sometimes also jobs pay you more for being part-time. So you get a little extra an hour, being that you're not working full-time, and they'll pay you more an hour, all right? And then they'll say, okay, well, you qualify for business, you qualify for insurance and benefits because you work part-time, and that's typically in a bigger company. So we're talking about hospitals, nursing homes, even some home care agencies. So if you don't know, home care, for me, I'm like a home care nurse, love home care. I'm team home care. Home care is what I truly like. I truly enjoy doing home care as a nurse, and you can obtain benefits from that environment. And depending on the home care company, especially if you're part-time, they will offer you more money to take a case. So if they're having trouble staffing a case, granted the case might not be the best, but if they're having trouble staffing a case, if they're having trouble just as far as hiring nurses, and just being that it's a shortage of nursing and they need to fill a schedule and they need you there, they will pay you more. Always negotiate, right? So that leads me into my tip number 3. So always negotiate your pay. If you're getting hired by a job and they offer you, let's just say $27 an hour, right? Know your worth. Come back with them with a number. Well, I feel as though the qualities and the assets that I bring to the company, I feel as though I deserve $30 an hour. Like, that is the biggest thing. Fight for what you earn, right? So you'll negotiate and you'll say, hey, I think my job, my duty, and what I'm bringing to the table is worth $30 an hour. Would you be able to support that? Would you be able to provide me with that per hour? And that company will let you know if they can or can't. Or sometimes they have wiggle room, so they'll counter back the offer and say, hey, you know, we only can do $28.50. But still, you got more money per hour. So you have to negotiate your pay. Like, that is the biggest thing you can possibly do. The best thing you could possibly do to make more money is negotiate your pay. If they're offering you one, always come back with an offer, because the least they can do is say no. But you have to fight for what you want. You have to fight for the income that you want. So going on to my 4th tip is find jobs that you can do traveling, or you can do from home, or you can do while you do your other job. So for example, right? So when I lived in Pennsylvania, I had a job in which I did visits, in which I would go to the client's house and you would do wound care and you'll do all that stuff like you do as a nurse, but you only see them for that hour. So you'll do visits, right? So that goes on your own time. So if you get you a per diem job, part-time job like that, that works even better because you do it on your time and you have a flexible schedule. So if you when you get another job, you'll be able to maneuver that job around that job, and it's not a conflict of interest because you'll be able to have a flexible schedule, and it even works as a parent. So for example, me, I'm a mother, and having that job was really a blessing because I was able to maneuver my schedule on how I needed it to be with my work-life balance. So that is the best things to actually have, is like a flexible job. Jobs like that gives you that flexibility to be able to work another job and collect more income, right? And then when you work over a certain amount of hours with certain facilities or certain companies, they pay you more because you are part-time. So always remember that. I think that's the biggest thing, is get you a job. I think everything is the biggest thing at this point. But get you a job that you're able to have that flexibility so you can work and it doesn't seem so overbearing and overwhelming. Another thing too is be flexible. So this will go into tip 5. Be flexible to travel. So if you live in a city, let's say I'll use Pennsylvania as an example. So I lived in a town in which it was country. It's not like it was easy to, no, it was easy to obtain a job. It was easy to obtain a job, but the pay was lower. So if you live in an area like that, be willing to travel. Go to the city part, go to different areas. Be willing to travel because they will pay you more money. So depending on the area, you get paid more. So that is a tip to earn more money and to actually increase your income. Because it's so, say for instance, you have a job, right? But nobody wants to go to town A. They're going to pay the person that goes to town A more because nobody wants to go to town A. So if nobody wants to go to town A and you willing to go to town A, you can rack up on town A. A tip number 6 would be looking to insurance companies and different places that actually hire nurses to work from home. So, or mobile, or you don't have to be present at that client's house. So it might be just a thing where, like, if someone needs to call the insurance to get some information, more so educational purposes, you're available, you're working, you're answering those phone calls. They have jobs like that, but you have to find them. So you want to make sure you're looking into jobs like that. It's so many options, and people limit LPNs sometimes in this circle in which you have to work in a hospital or you have to work in a nursing home to be a nurse. No. Well, an LPN in essence. Not true. That is false, because me personally, I never worked in a nursing home. Matter of fact, let me not lie to y'all. I worked in a nursing home for 2 weeks and I realized that it's not for me. And I just choose not to work in a nursing home. And it's other jobs out there that you can obtain and not work in a nursing home. You can obtain office jobs as a nurse. You can obtain jobs at different facilities as a nurse because they need that nurse expertise just to have a better function of the business. It's not necessarily that you need to work in a hospital or you need to work in a nursing home. My suggestion is home care, especially because in nursing homes you don't want to, in certain jobs I should say, in certain jobs you don't want to be burnt out, right? So I would suggest, like, especially if you're at that feeling of burnt out or feeling overwhelmed, start off with home care. Like home care, you could really negotiate your pay, like, and fight for more pay at all costs. I mean at all costs, okay? I'm talking about when they offer you 25, you better start acting like you better 25, 45, 55 bid. Fight for more money at all costs and know your worth, especially if you're giving your all and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing as a nurse and you're making sure you're giving quality care to your clients. Fight for more money. But just know, back to the original subject, just know that, you know, hospitals and nurse homes are not the only jobs for LPNs. They have many different positions for LPNs. You can work at clinics, you can work at home care offices. Actually, you can work at different insurance offices, you can work at different places, and it does not have to be a nursing home, and it does not have to be a hospital. Now, I will say though, some companies do ask for experience, and I think a lot of times we don't do this on our resumes, is put your clinical as an experience. You go to the nursing home, you went to the hospital, put it. You have to do clinical, so what's that, months of experience? Yeah, granted, you may have not worked at a facility, but put that experience on your resume, what you do, because I see that what I've come to notice is when you go to apply to a job, some companies don't know what's the qualifications as far as what do you need to do to become a nurse, a LPN. They don't know that they don't know your clinical hours sometimes. Certain people may know it, certain people may not. So put that on your resume. Explain to them what you mean by that. Also, volunteer, have that people's experience, because if you walk in there with that demeanor, with that aura that you got this and you know what you're talking about and you're able to articulate yourself well, I guarantee you they're gonna fight for you to get more money. I had managers fight for me to get more money, because I would be like, hey, listen, I'm requesting this much. This is what I feel is best. This is what I feel I'm worth, and I'm able to bring great assets and great things to your company, as well as your company is bringing great things to me. Have that mentality. Otherwise, you will get on the bottom end of the stick, because you're not fighting for your worth. Another key thing so I would say make sure that you are, make sure you're fighting for your worth, and make sure you know that your options are limited. Don't let no one tell you that, you know, this is what LPN's supposed to be at. This is where you know you're supposed to be. It's not a lot of jobs. It is a lot of jobs, but you have to go out there and find them. It's not going to knock on your door. It's not going to ring your doorbell, ding ding. It's not doing that. You have to go out there and find them. And when I hear things like that, I feel like in a way it's an excuse, and some people, and also it's the lack of knowledge. Most people have the lack of knowledge of knowing, especially if they're not an LPN and they're not a nurse. How they gonna tell you where the jobs are? They don't know. They're not even in that market. So you have to do your research, and then you have to know where to go. So another tip, actually, I don't even know, I'm not gonna even count at this point, because I think I'm at 7. Tip 7, another tip would be making sure that you invest. So as a nurse, once you hit a certain income, so like I would say 70K a year. Once you hit about 70K a year, you want to start investing your money so you can start collecting passive income. Passive income is everything. If you are investing in something in which pays you quarterly for not doing nothing just because you invested that money, that's something that you want to do after you hit a certain income. And that goes to anybody, even if you're not a nurse. That passive income is everything. So generate passive income as a nurse when you start making more money. So you have to put that time in, and you do have to put those. I'm not going to say it's easy and it's going to be a walk in the park. And you have to put that work in, and you have to be willing, even if you just want to grind like this for a year to get what you need to get and to hit the goals that you have set for yourself. Do that. But it's not going to be a walk in the park, and you have to actually look.